does anybody need to be screenshotting and sending this out anyways? Potentially, this is how it got in the hands of Candace Owens to put out in the first place. So I think internally, nobody could be mad at the stuff getting out if internally the screenshots are happening there and disseminated anywhere.
Being passive aggressive means expressing anger, resentment, or resistance indirectly instead of confronting something openly. In other words, it's indirect hostility. Instead of confronting something, you try to hide it behind politeness, avoidance, or subtle sabotage. A good example of this is the silent treatment. And if you're a guy, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
He's right, you know.
And what's even interesting, Black Americans are known for not being passive aggressive. We have a culture of calling it like it is or saying how we feel. And you can always tell if people are being passive aggressive, especially when they confront everything so openly. And if we look at people on social media, a good example of a person who confronts things openly is Candace Owens. She doesn't hold her tongue, she's very direct, and she's very straightforward. So when she exposed these Charlie Kirk text messages, this was what happened.
Charlie Kirk explicitly said that he was leaving the pro-Israel cause just 2 days before he was assassinated. And Candace Owens just brought the receipts by sharing a screenshot of that group chat where Charlie Kirk said he just lost another huge Jewish donor because he wouldn't cancel Tucker Carlson. And he also said, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
Now, Candace Owens shook up the whole country with these text messages. This plays into her idea that Israel had something more to do with Charlie Kirk's murder, and this text message was sent 48 hours before he passed away. But also another person who tells it like it is typically is Officer Tatum. He is from the historical African American or Black American community. He's from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And so also, he doesn't hold his tongue. When he wants to confront something, he confronts it direct, except for Candace Owens.
Woo!
Now, Officer Brandon Tatum had to get in on the mix with this against his longtime friend, Candace Owens. He's not really feeling this whole idea that Andrew Kovic and, Candace Owens are putting these text messages out. And so Officer Tatum is there, literally on the screen of this video. You can tell, even on the last video he dropped about this, he's looking in a passive aggressive way towards the other people. Now, let's see what he has to say about this.
I do not like this drama because Charlie Kirk cannot defend himself. He's dead. So whether he liked Israel, didn't like Israel, whether he was going left, right, down the middle, none of it matters because he cannot defend himself and he's no longer with us. So his strive to be in a certain position or take a political stance, it really is irrelevant.
Now you can see he doesn't like this at all. And the reason why he doesn't like it is because, well, Charlie Kirk is not here to defend himself. And so it's irrelevant. What if he was pro-Israel or not, it doesn't matter. He's passed away and he can't defend himself. And that's going to be important. But what else does he say?
And I don't like the leaking and screenshotting and sending information out on the internet into the ether, simply because a private message is a private message. And if a person who was on the private message wanted to be public, that person would have made it public. And unfortunately, when you die, you don't have a choice to make it public or private. So that's why I think it should remain private.
He's saying these messages should remain private. Now, he's not talking about the issues right now as to why Charlie Kirk feels that way. But don't worry, we're going to get there. He just wants this to stay private, right? Doesn't want anybody to know. And then what does he say for the people who are putting this information out?
In my opinion, to promote this as a thing or promote this as important is literally spitting on Charlie's grave, in my personal opinion.
He's saying that those people who are talking about this, putting this out, this is spitting on Charlie's grave.
Woo!
Let's go back to passive aggressive behavior. Classic passive behavior is sarcasm, avoidance, mock politeness, backhanded praise, withholded effort, or masked criticism. Instead of saying Candace Owens is spitting on Charlie Kirk's grave, he says whoever is doing this is spitting on Charlie Kirk's grave or something to that effect, right? The actions of it, including Andrew Kovic himself. But really the person that made this, very popular was Candace Owens, all right? Now, Andrew Kovic basically put these text messages out there, but he never made video content about it. Candace Owens did. I told you there's gonna be a time where Brandon Tatum was going to have to confront Candace Owens directly. It's only a matter of time, but he's still trying to play it cool, and I suspect I know the reason why. But no, it's just not Candace Owens who's gonna get trashed here.
What it says here, it says just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker Carlson. Let me address that real quick. I disagree with anybody that says that it was a problem that a Jewish donor decide to go in a different direction with their money after having an anti-Semite on stage at Charlie Kirk at Turning Point events. This is not about if Charlie liked the guy or not. He could be friends with the guy all he want. But when he's spewing anti-Semitism on stage and literally taking the next generation of young people in a bad direction, making them hate the government, making them question everything the government does, that's a problem. That's not what we need for the next generation.
Now, wait a minute. See, Brandon Tatum is trying to be clever here. Brandon Tatum, I won't say he hates Tucker Carlson, but he dislikes Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson is critical of some components of, Israel. And so because of that, he's now criticizing Charlie Kirk's position. He's saying, Charlie, you're upset because Israel is taking the $2 million away, but wait a minute, they have the right to do so if you platform somebody like Tucker Carlson on stage. But he continues.
So if you are a donor and you're giving $2 million a year and you got somebody on stage like this that's antithetical to the organization that you're supporting, I don't see there be a problem whatsoever with saying, well, I'm not spending my money in this way. And I don't know why anybody would get upset with that. Just find donors that want to do what you want them to do. Why would you get mad at donors who don't want to do the things that you said you were going to do for them?
Wait a minute. Stop the show. He's now basically calling Charlie Kirk a liar because he's putting it into, paraphrase or a parable, if you will. Basically, you were supposed to defend what you were supposed to defend, and they gave you the money, and you did not do that. So now you are a liar, Charlie Kirk. Like, again, they paid you the money and then you changed up on the deal. Now, remember, Charlie Kirk is supposed to be his boy. Literally, this guy is wearing Charlie Kirk on his shirt. Like, literally, as he's dissing the guy. Again, this is classic stuff. Charlie Kirk is one of the reasons why Brandon Tatum is where he is right now today, right? And he's basically saying that, look, you changed up on Israel, bro. But this is the same guy criticizing Myron and Nick Fuentes for being fake. And you know who's being fake right now? Brandon Tatum. Officer Tatum. Well, wait. He gets more. Rewind. Well, wait. There's more.
He's dead. So whether he liked Israel, didn't like Israel, whether he was going left, right, down the middle, none of it matters because he cannot defend himself and he's no longer with us.
Now, I played this clip because, again, Charlie Kirk, he said, is dead and cannot defend himself. Now, when it came to Charlie Kirk putting out his messages and Candace Owens speaking about it, he says it's like spitting on Charlie Kirk's grave. So he's not here to defend himself, so why talk about it? But on the same notion, he's talking about Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk can't defend himself. Can Charlie Kirk tell his side of the story as to what was agreed upon? No. Brandon Tatum doesn't know the deal he had with the donor. He doesn't know how Charlie Kirk was feeling. But yet he is criticizing and taking really silly jabs at Charlie Kirk, who is in no way, shape, or form able to put his position out. Why? He's passed away. But in the same way, he wants to silence Andrew Kovic and Candace Owens. But wait, Officer Tatum is not done.
I really like what you're doing, man. I like how you stand up for Israel. I like what you do for law enforcement. I like how you're conservative. And I want to give you $2 million a year for the next 5 years to help you build your platform and help you build your company. And then year 2, I start platforming people who are anti-Semitic. I start giving credence to people who are saying things that are antithetical to the mission in which the donor started or the investor started with me on. And investors say, look, man, I don't want to invest in this anymore. Why am I going to get mad at him?
He uses a more of a direct example. And we can see Charlie Kirk in this example. Basically, listen, if I'm a person and I spend this kind of money and you don't do what you say you're going to do and you platform, yeah, I have the right to do it. He's basically saying that Charlie Kirk is trash. He's a liar. The truth is not in him. But again, this is the same guy that criticized Candace Owens and Andrew Kovic. But look, guys, he can't defend himself. But what Brandon Tatum isn't talking about is what did Israel do to Charlie Kirk?
Damn!
He's quick to defend Israel and take their side, but he don't want to take his buddy's side. And again, he's being passive aggressive towards Candace Owens. He don't want to come out and diss Candace directly. You want to know why? Because Candace has way too much power right now. And if he were to do that, it would be so career ending to Brandon. Brandon would love, if she was somebody else, he would love to come after her, but he can't. So he has to throw these subliminals out there. He has to operate from a passive aggressive standpoint. And this is not Brandon Tatum's nature. Brandon Tatum's nature is he's a black dude from Fort Worth, Texas. He likes to get it in. He'll get down and dirty with you if you need him to. He's not no punk. He's not scary, but he's scared of Candace Owens.
Damn!
And he knows if he comes after her, it's over. Game over. The reality is this, bro. You can't be hypocritical. Number one, you guys are supposed to be black conservatives. You guys are conserving everything but the black community. You're conserving your bank account. Wherever the money is at is where you pledge your allegiance to. I mean, you already have like a non-black wife, which is not as bad, but I mean, then you're just like, you're coming in here with the whole Israel thing, and nothing is wrong with that, but stop saying you're a black conservative. You're just trying to get to the bag, bro. Now you black conservatives are fighting because you're on the opposite end of the geopolitical spectrum, and one side is getting money from the white right, and you're getting money from the Israel government or whoever else you believe you're giving money for. And so it's going to come to a head where you guys are going to have to just come out and just straight get into a beef. All right. The black conservatives are going to have to start fighting, and you're going to get those black conservatives like Brandon Tatum. All right. And then you're going to get the other ones like the Hodge twins and Candace Owens who are pro-Palestine. And once that happens, guys, just sit back, get a milkshake, get some fries, get some Hennessy, and literally just get ready for the fun, because these guys really are going to tear each other apart on YouTube, because they'll be having to. If Brandon Tatum doesn't stay on his job and show his loyalty to Israel, yeah, he might not like that. All right. He needs to get out here and defend it, even if that means secretly criticizing Charlie Kirk underneath the nose where nobody knows what he's saying. But I understand what he's saying. He's dissing the guy. The guy can't defend himself. Okay. He doesn't give any respect to Charlie Kirk, while at the same time being fake and wearing his shirt. He's not loyal to his friend. He doesn't care why his friend was feeling some kind of way. He blames his friend for bringing Tucker Carlson on, and that's that. All right. It is what it is. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Dude Jackson back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.